Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Core Racing Network. Tonight, we are here at the Kansas Speedway for another round here for the Virtual Velocity Racing Arca Series as we head towards the end of the season. Only got 4 races left here, Kansas being one of them. And actually, I got to double check that out because it's 4 or 3, but either way, we're coming down to the end of it. And yeah, it is 4 races left. The last one here for the month of August. Then we'll take a 1-week break, and then we head back for the last 3 at Phoenix, Talladega, and Dover in September. But points race, ever so close. We'll get into that here in a little bit, but we're here at home at Kansas. This is kind of the unofficial home of Core, at least, and we've been here tons and tons of times here at Kansas, and it's a fun 1.5-mile tri-oval track here. Depending on what cars you're coming out here, usually the top lane is kind of predominant, especially in turns 1 and 2. 3 and 4 can get a little bit different. You can see a lot of different lines there, and again, depending on the car, you can see even the bottom line working 1 and 2 as well. But either way, 110 laps here on the docket. Carl Lamberth joining the booth with Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, back home here at Kansas.
Yeah, we're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. I'm in Florida. But yeah, this is a great track. It's one of those 1.5-milers that's fast, puts on a pretty good race. It sometimes can lean to one lane being pretty dominant, unless they have newer tires. We do have, let's see how many drivers we got out here tonight. So 11, 12.
18 or 19 last time.
Yeah, 19 drivers out here tonight for 110 laps. Definitely going to be an interesting one, and they've been putting on some great shows and some green flag runs, so it's going to keep us guessing on that fuel mileage game again here that we're so good at these days.
Yeah, we've been bingoing these things left and right. Know exactly what's going on at all times. It's kind of amazing. I mean, we need no crew chief. We're our own crew chief. We know exactly what's going on. Well, we don't have an updated point standing because the points don't look like they got updated since Pocono. I know it was a little bit of a wonky situation with setting up the session for Pocono, so we don't have the results for that one. But leading into the Pocono race, it couldn't be any tighter. It was tied at the top of the points between between Andrew Paleschi and Dalton Kilrow, and it's still tight. It's still really, really tight at the top, and it's going to be a good one all the way to the end of the season. But we're ready for 110 laps here as the drivers out there getting their qualifying done. We do have the fearless leader Tim Lee back in the field here tonight, along with as Jimmy mentioned, looks like 19 other drivers out there ready to get after it. But kind of surprising right now with the qualifying times, not really seeing our heavy hitters at the top right now. Robert Kahn back there in 8th. We got Andrew Paleschi back there in 15th. Dalton Kilrow has yet to put down a time, so maybe still a chance to get a time in there. And looks like, nope, that was somebody else. Eric Blunt now going to the top of the boards. So we'll see how this thing plays out here for the last half a minute.
Yeah, there's, obviously just a few seconds to go here. And Eric Blount on top there with Austin Call. Tim Lee breaking in top 5 here for the start. So maybe some of those weeks away as put some pep in his step there and got some lead in the old skinny pedal in order to get it around here tonight. Finding some time here tonight, so very, very fast. Tim Lee, Andrew Paleschi up there in the top 5 at the moment. Only a few more seconds to go, and qualify is going to be over here as the timer is expired. And now all 18, well, there's 20 drivers out there. There's 2 that definitely did not qualify, and I'm going to give you 3 guesses. First 2 don't count. Who one of those might be?
Yeah, exactly. And looks like he'll be starting in the back as usual, that being the 77 of Michael Pratt. But we got our 20-car field here all qualified in, ready to grid up here tonight. And like I said, the heavy hitters are going to have some work to do here tonight. Jimmy, why don't you give us a rundown of that 20-car field?
Yeah, rundown of the 20-car field here tonight, and it's going to be Eric Blount out front here tonight in number 6 on the pole. Austin Call, when the number 18, will start on the outside. Tim Lee will start in 3rd in that number 24 car, and Andrew Paleschi will start 4th in the number 81. Len McNeese up there as well in the number 84.
In 5th with Brandon Meyer in the 13 car, and P number 6. P number 7 is going to be Colin Allman, and then Todd Merkel in P number 8. In 9th place will be Gordon Larson, Tyler Hilton up there in P number 10. Robert Kahn back in all the way in P11. Mike Hasty again back there in P number 12. And then the rest of the field here. Come on. It's going to be Michael Taylor in 13th, Hemi Gardini in 14th, Dalton Kilrow all the way back in 15th, John Garrett in 16th, Maxwell Caldwell in 17th, Hilton Young back in 18th, and Cade Green in 19th in the 19 car, and our favorite driver that comes from the back every week, Michael Pratt in the number 77.
I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in here tonight. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe as we get ready for, again, 110 laps of racing here at Kansas. Sun starting to set here, and we'll see a transition into night. We'll see those lights come on here on the track. We'll see those paint schemes shining ever so beautifully out there as well. So looking forward to it here. Want to send a shout out to the season sponsors, Hilton Crafts and Designs, Forward Screen Printing, and brain farting on the last one all of a sudden. But we'll get back to that, and I apologize to the to the sponsors there, but it's ready to get this thing underway. And I mean, this is Gold Line Guardians. There we go. Gold Line Guardians. Just can't be there.
Can't miss the night.
Exactly. Well, we're gonna get this thing underway, but yeah, I'm kind of surprised with the times here, and seeing the field kind of really shift around. Andrew Pileshi doing what he needs to do, gets it up there on the second row, but some of the other the big names back there, like Dalton Kilrow qualifying back there in 15th, and even Robert Kahn qualifying outside the top 10. So it could be a little bit of a racy track here tonight, and we'll see what these drivers have to do. But I mean, all the way back to Dalton Kilrow in 15th, and even if you include John Garrett in 16th, only 0.2 of a second covering at the top 16 drivers. So everybody's kind of right on that same pace here, which should provide for a heck of a race out here tonight. Coming out of turns 3 and 4, the pace car will peel down into pit road. We're going to get this thing underway and give it over into the hands of Barney for the green flag here tonight.
And Barney getting ready to wave that flag here as they come down the front stretch. Green lights are out. They're on the loud pedal, and away they go. Eric Blount, again, not the greatest start, but that are just equal to the 18 of Austin Call on that outside. Has a little bit of an advantage here early on. Is going to get the lead. Coming out of turn number 2 as he pulls up in front of that number 18. Not all the way though, so just kind of maybe a little more protective at that line right there, trying to get that first lap lead here. You see Tim Lee sitting in P number 3, a little bit on the upper side there, but 1, 2, 3 the way they start. So no big movement here early on. Colin Allman though looking to get towards the front as he's now up into P number 5.
Good start for the field as they try and work those tires in here as well. And we'll see who and when these drivers are going to start shifting through the field here, as some SDK issues on my side. There we go. Now we got to clear it up. But Eric Blunt leads the way. Austin Call, Tim Lee, Colin Allman for your top 4. Then Len McNeese, Todd Merkel, Brandon Muir, Tyler Hilton, Andrew Pileshi, and Gordon Larson Jr. for your top 10. Already see a couple drivers moving through the field. Tyler Hilton up 2 spots after starting back there in 10th position. Andrew Pileshi going the opposite way. He's down 7 spots now, sliding back through the field, and maybe just worried about that long run and worried about bringing those tires in nice and smoothly and keeping them underneath him. He knows he's got a bit of a gap to Dalton Kilrow towards the back of the field, still back there in 15th. So maybe that's kind of his key focus here tonight. Maybe do a little points racing to start off.
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to continue to be able to make that push, the biggest thing is to finish in front of Dalton. If he wants to have the opportunity or chance to win the overall championship. Obviously, we know he likes to kind of get up here and talk to us, but these drivers get out there, they get a good qualifying in, maybe try to get the pole and see what they can do. But some of these drivers do set back, but. The racing here at VVR is super clean. A lot of green flag racing. Even on some of the tougher tracks, here as lately. I mean, they've had in the past. They've had some troublesome tracks like we all do, but very few and far between these days. And right now, just putting on some great racing and just having one heck of a time out here right now. Eric Blount leads the way over Austin Call and Tim Lee.
Well, and you know, we talk about maybe what he's doing strategy-wise. Maybe he's still sulking from last week. He didn't get a chance to talk to us. The first time he's finished off the podium in quite some time, finishing just outside in 4th place, as Kilroe was able to get him on the last lap there at Pocono to finish in 3rd and take over what should be taking over the points lead. Again, we don't have the updated points here, but Robert Kahn was able to take it home last week. Maxwell Caldwell finally getting a good finish in that 94 up there, finishing in 2nd. And then Kilroe, Paleschi, and Green for your top 5 last week at Pocono, the tricky triangle. But here, lights are starting to go out. It's starting to get a little bit darker. I know they typically on these transition races have it a little bit accelerated. I believe it's might be 2 times the speed here tonight, as well as the sun's starting to set here. We'll start to see these lights come on, and these drivers are already into the action.
Plenty of action, especially up here up front. Colin Allman out looking for the leader right now, as he's made his way up into P number 2. Now chasing down into 6 of Eric Blount, who's leading the way right now. Tyler Hilton doing a fantastic job out there in the O2. I do know that not feeling the greatest, so hopefully he has a pretty good race and able to make his way out there and get a good finish here. So good luck Tyler right now. Currently sitting in P number 6. Robert Collins in 7th. Len McNeese in 8th, with Michael Taylor and Dalton Kilroe in your top 10.
Field already starting to spread out pretty good here as well. I mean, you see the little map, but the little Skittles, as Jimmy calls it, kind of really starting to spread out compared to where they started, and almost half the field, or not half the field, almost half the track is covered with those Skittles, and really just a couple little mini groups out there right now, breaking through the pack. But we do have some drivers moving through the pack. One of them being the man we talked about earlier, Dalton Kilroe, up 5 spots already, up now into the top 10. Robert Kahn is up 4, Michael Taylor up 5 as well, and looks like Tyler Hilton, Michael Pratt, both up 4 positions respectively as well. But a couple of drivers that started in the top 10 have dropped out. Gordon Larson started in 9th, he's down to 11th. Andrew Paleschi started up there in 4th, down now into 13th position. And then Todd Merkel started up in 8th, and he is down to 19th position. Not sure if anything happened to the 2, as he's at the back of the field right now. Looks like he did have a little off track last lap to maybe drop him back to the back. Cade Green also had an incident. That's why he's in the pits right now. Only one not out there on the track.
Okay, Cade Green, no caution flowing. Obviously, away from everybody else. Obviously, got to affect the 19 here tonight. After if I'm not mistaken, he also had a pretty decent finish last week. I know I remember seeing him up front. Let's see, what do we got right now? There's got a couple battles all over the place.
Yeah, he did have a top 5 last week. Yep. Yeah. But so far, so good for these drivers, as this is exactly what you like to see at a race here at Kansas. Already starting to spread out. We got a couple of battles through the pack here. It looks like a battle between Len McNeese and Dalton Kilroe. Kilroe is going to make the pass, move it up there into 9th position. Another battle up here at the front. Tim Lee on the outside. The 13, Brandon Meir, diving all the way down to the grass on that apron, and now sends it down to the inside here. 1 and 2 going to make that pass and move himself up into 3rd position, right behind the 18 of Austin Call. Colin Allman is the one leading the way right now, as Eric Bunn has slipped back to 5th position.
I didn't even see that happen. But yeah, Austin or Colin Allman just trying to check out here, and a few of them drivers back there trying maybe points race or maybe pit strategy here early on. Maybe Dalton Kilroe and Andrew Paleschi. So I'm not, like I said, I don't know what the fuel mileage is. If it's close to being a one-stopper, they'd have to save, I think, quite a bit. But I'm not 100% sure. Don't know yet.
I think
smoke. That's somebody
It
smoking.
looks like it was, yeah. I'm not sure if somebody blinked out or what the case was. There's a good amount of smoke right there, too. It looks like Cade Green just jumped in the pits, so maybe another issue here for Cade Green.
Let's see if I can. Yeah, let me.
Left the pits and then jumped right back in the pits.
Well, this
so maybe
is right
just
before he jumped in the pit. This said he entered pit lane. Oh, blink. Oh,
well, he got a pit lane, that's for sure.
well, definitely some smoke.
That will be
But he was
the
blinking. Okay. Interesting pit stop there for Cade Green. Made some net
Pretty sure it's
code
going to be
and
an unsafe
locked up.
entry, and certainly going to be speeding in there as well. But unfortunately, not exactly the start that Cade Green wanted, especially coming after that top 5 last week. But last week was the first time that we didn't see Colin Allman kind of out front and dominating, and it was kind of a shock as he had to try and move his way through the field and just couldn't get it going.
He
And
just slapped the wall.
he's working on that an expanding Kansas here a little bit and trying to push that wall out, but the wall not budging yet. But you never know. Just keep at it. Keep at it, Colin. You never know. Where there's a will, there's a way. I think I can every time I go through that corner. But either way, he's still out to a 0.4 second lead. Austin Call trying to keep him within range here. Brandon Muir, another 0.4 of a second back. Close battle here as Robert Kahn now up into the top 5. Eric Blunt trying to hang on there is just back there in 6th position. Our other points leaders in Dalton Kilrow up 6 spots, up into 9th. And then Andrew Pileshi maybe starting to move his way back up through the field, back up to 11th right now, only down 7 positions, kind of leading that little charge from the backpack.
Yeah, he fell right back down into the battlefield. I was you get a little concerned. You're like, maybe there's backing down and saving fuel, or maybe he's got some technical issues. I don't know. I mean, you don't quite know what's going through these drivers' minds are here very early on. We try to assume or guess or whatever we do up here, but yeah, you just don't know. And when you gotta get back there in that, I call it the battlefield, that mid-pack racing, it's tough. I mean, if they can get around you and they're in front of you, man, they're gonna fight you tooth and nail and won't let you pass. And usually it's some drivers back there that they're still learning, so more a little preemptive to make a mistake here and there. So you got to be careful. It's just it's a good place for a lot of great drivers to be learning, and it's just gotta watch yourself in there, because they might not be used to somebody that's a little bit quicker. You can close in on them, you brake too early on them or whatever, and they're not. It's just a place where you kind of got to tiptoe, watch yourself just a little bit, but not too bad. They're really good here at VVR, and I guess maybe that's why Andrew's not too worried about it. So he's leading the way here, right there in front of Gordon Larson, sitting in P number 11. Gordon Larson's in 12th, with Mike Hasty even back there as well. And we've seen Mike up there as well here, not recently, battling for the lead here in that number 72 as well.
Already 20 laps into this race, and we'll start to see those tires really starting to wear in here, and I think we'll see the drivers that were going to be saving a little bit of tires start to maybe not necessarily pick up the pace, keep the pace that they've had, because that's kind of the key of saving tires. You can't get to the point where all of a sudden you're faster than everybody else because they're going so much slower. You can't then jump on the gas and start going at it. You have to kind of run the same pace for the entire run, and not wear in those tires, really feel what the car is doing, and that's what some drivers, certainly not myself, are better at than others. At trying to save those tires, and we'll see who's got the right pattern here tonight to try and keep these tires underneath them. But right now it's Colin Allman still out front, but you see the gap, really not much to speak of between him, Austin Call, and Brandon Muir. Michael Taylor up 6 spots, as is Robert Kahn. Dalton Kilrow now up 7 spots, moved into 8th place. Michael Pratt up 5 as well. So good start for those drivers here, as pretty much the entire top 10, other than Austin Call, has moved up a spot, if not dropped back a little bit. So Austin Call, kind of the lone survivor there from that front row.
Yeah, trying to hang on. This is my spot. Got a real good run there. Got a good qualifying, and so far so good. Sitting there in P number 2. Obviously shifted around just a little bit You know, a few drivers were out front there. Eric Blount, you can see he's obviously started on the pole, now back in P number 6 and just kind of falling back. So just maybe a little too tough on them tires there for the number 6 there early on, but still having a pretty decent run and all the way back in the 6th, or excuse me, 7, and about to go down to 8th as Dalton Kilroe is coming up on the 6 here right now on the outside as they head down into turn number 1. Looks like he's going to make that pass, so able to complete that. But yeah, just them tires go away, you know, and some drivers, that's the one thing, you know, you get out there, you're running like you think you need to, well then 25 laps goes by and then tires are hot and they're greasy and they don't want to do what you want it to do, and you start getting a little worrisome, and you know you have to let up and get them tires under control. So that's probably what the 6 is doing right now, getting them tires under control. Gonna end up losing a few positions, but it's better to be a little safe than sorry, and hopefully he'll be able to return back there once maybe whether a caution comes out, and just to readjust his braking points and his throttle control just a little bit. But I want to count Eric out yet, but definitely not looking good for the 6. That's why I'm lap 27 of 110, and he's falling quickly.
Yeah, it could be a situation where, like you said, he ran a little bit too hard in the beginning laps, or it could be a situation where he just bingoed that qualifying lap and he got everything out of it, and you know, hot lap hero, as we sometimes dub him. Not Eric Blunt particularly, but you know, those drivers that can get out there and put a heck of a qualifying lap in, and then the race pace is something that they got to find throughout the race, as it looks like struggling a little bit. But I did see Hilton Young come in on the last lap, and now we're starting to see some more come in here. And how about the 24 there passing the 24 as that was Tim Lee getting passed by, I believe it was Robert Kahn. Yeah, Robert Kahn and the other 24 out there getting the pass done right before pit road. But pit road is starting to get busy. Your leaders and Austin Call, Brandon Meir, Colin Allman all in the pits, along with Tim Lee, Tyler Hilton, Robert Kahn. Dalton Kilroe is going to shuffle out, and he is now in the lead. So after starting back there in 15th, he's certainly got a pit yet, as he's going to come in this time by, but he did get a lap lead. Now going to bring the 41 in, and looks like just about the rest of the field going to come in this time by. We'll see. Yeah, Maxwell Caldwell going to come in. John Garrett will be the last one. Looks like Garrett is going to stay out there and get a lap lead.
Yeah, right now you can see everybody. I just brought up the tower. You can see, you know, pit lane busy, and everybody coming down there getting registered. So 27, 28 laps. Looks like they're calling it here. So do some math, which is probably not the smartest thing to do. So they're going to be in every 28 laps. We'll call it 30, and that'll take you, we'll see, so 2 more. So at least 2 more pit stops here. The next one will be, what, 58, and then close to 80, and then hopefully they'll have enough to stretch it out. So that's where they might be trying to stretch that thing out, to try to get to where they can alleviate that very last that pit stop. So if you're going to plan something out like that, then you're going to have to do it here early. John Garrett coming in at lap 29 might know what's up, is stretching it out just a little bit. Got a few drivers, a lot of drivers getting to lap 28, but that one lap there that John Garrett was able to stay out there could be one of those moves that just puts him in the right spot at the right time to get a great finish here tonight.
Todd Merkel having a black flag, had to come in, I believe, and serve a penalty. But yeah, I mean, the drivers that came in on lap number 28, I think they're in good shape for sure to make this thing on 2 more pit stops. But actually, wait, or is it 3 more pit stops? I'm starting to lose myself here now. I think it's actually 3 more pit stops. But either way, make it on one less pit stop than everybody else. But the drivers that came in on lap number 27 are going to be, you know, a little bit closer, because, you know, 27 times 2 is 54. You times that by another 2, that's 108. That's not 110. So they're going to have to try and find you know, a lap more on each of these next 3 runs to make sure that they can make it all the way to the end of this race. But certainly a good run there for John Garrett, making it all the way to 29. A good start there, and maybe he can push a little bit harder on the next couple of runs. And you wonder how much these drivers are actually pushing, and how much they have that that fuel strategy in mind. Right now, Colin Allman, not worried about it. He's out there to a 4-second lead. See the battle here for second place. Austin Call on the inside of the 18. Now Brandon Muir going to go to the outside. Little bobble there from the 18, but Muir going to keep in it on the outside. Going to be side by side at the line. Give it to Austin Call by a 100th of a second, but Muir's got to run into turns 1 and 2, and he should be able to clear by the backstretch.
Yeah, using the higher line here is going to be able to use that momentum and carry him down the backstretch here, down and into turn number 3 and 4. So I think that's the line right at the moment. But that's me. It seems to be working out for those that are in battles. Tim Lee back here in P number 6, down a couple spots now as Tyler Hilton gets by in the 02. Dalton Kilrose up in P number 4 after pit stops.
Well, the one thing that we see, and the reason it's kind of a big, or was a big lead for Colin Allman, is he decided, like many others, not to take tires that time by, but Brandon Muir, Austin Call, 4 tire stops here for second and third, and that's why you see them a lot faster right now and easily tracking down your leader, Colin Allman. Should be maybe a lap or 2 before they catch him, and probably both pass him and become your new first and second place here in the race. A few errors at the back of the field, though, as it looks like Robert Kahn with a pit road penalty, Tyler Hilton Young with a pit road penalty, and Todd Merkel with a pit road penalty, because those times they're in the pits a little bit too long for, even if you're taking tires. That's about 40 seconds too long.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, we talk. I haven't talked about it in a while here at VVR, but I talk about often about how important, pit stops are. And again, it just proves me right. How you can, just coming in too fast or whatever it may be. So, yeah.
When you seen Khan make the pass on Tim Lee coming into the pits, and you wonder if that's where he picked it up. Maybe he made the pass, but he was just in a little bit too hot coming into pit road, because he did serve the penalty right away when he came in to make the pit. So it was either unsafe entry, which it didn't look unsafe, or speeding before he got to his pit lane. New leader out front is the 13, Brandon Muir. Austin Call also moved by Colin Allman into second place. Those drivers out there with the fresh tires, trying to use them right now. They need to put down some heater laps here until they get to their next pit stop, because I'm sure that's when you're going to see all the rest of the field take some freshies.
Yeah, and you think about who's making the right call and whatnot, and obviously we've been watching VVR now. This is our second season in plus year here with all the drivers here, and just kind of obviously reminding yourself, you look up at the iRating, and we know that they do a lot of racing here at VVR, but the higher the iRating just means obviously they've had the time and opportunity to put in some time and put up with the headaches and the yahoos out there that make some silly mistakes, and frustrating. But there's drivers in here with 6K iRating, 3K iRating, mid 2Ks is still really good. But nobody super low at all. Most drivers closing in on the 2K era. So I mean, the competition's high here, and they need for people to make mistakes, or they need to attempt different strategies in order to give themselves a chance. So that might work. One might work better than the other. So is tires early better than tires later? We're about to find out, as Brandon Meyer is out front over Austin Call, and then Colin Allman is back there in P number 3, right in front of Dalton Kilroe, Tyler Hilton for your top 5. Then it's Andrew Pileshi, Len McNeese, Michael Taylor, Hemi Gherardini, Tim Lee, Eric Blount, Gordon Larson, Mike Hasty, Michael Pratt, Maxwell Caldwell, John Garrett, Robert Kahn, Hilton Young, Todd Merkel, K Green.
Once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight, as we're about a third of the way through this race, and we're going to switch it up here a little bit and kind of keep it within the racing theme, but we put a poll out there to kind of engage the audience out there. I know Barry's out there certainly always picking his driver for the race, going with Dalton Kilroe for this one here tonight. But I know we got 9 others watching, other than Barry. Actually, 8 others watching if you take myself out as well. But get the chat moving here a little bit and see. We'll get a poll out there just to try and see what the thoughts are out there. But before I get the poll out there, Jimmy, I'll ask you the question: favorite racing movie? I mean, there's a lot that come to mind. Obviously, you got Days of Thunder, you got Talladega Nights, you got Rush, you got Ford versus Ferrari. There's so many good ones out there. I mean, I'm not sure I could pick. I'm not sure I can answer my own question. But if you had to pick, you had to watch one racing movie, what would it be?
Huh. That's a good one because I like a lot of them. And pretty much the ones that you hit, like a lot of the major ones right in the head. It's just really kind of like the mood that you're in. It's I like some good Ford versus Ferrari. Somebody kind of going outside the box and trying to get things done and ticking off the bosses. Who doesn't like doing that every now and then to get prove somebody wrong? So, I mean, that's always a good one. It's probably a good one, for a good theme. You're trying to prove people that something works or doesn't work, and it's just that's kind of like the theme of that race or that movie. And I wouldn't mind watching it again. There's a bunch of good ones out there, though. Yeah, put some out there, see what the fans think out there. Are they fans of racing or just kind of supporting their people out here?
Yeah, I mean, it's there's so many good ones. I mean, you could maybe pick one that kind of deals with each kind of genre. That maybe, I mean, you could probably make a list for each genre. Actually, I mean, you look at NASCAR. Obviously, you can look at Days of Thunder. You can look at Talladega Nights. Depending on if you want to. You want a more serious kind of movie, or you want one that you want to laugh? Clearly,
yep.
You could look at, the GT series, and you could look at, movies like Gran Turismo, or you could look at Ford versus Ferrari, or even the movie Ferrari. And you can kind of even throw maybe Need for Speed in there as well, with a lot of the supercars that they run in that one. Or you can look at F1 movies. Yeah, exactly. A lot of good looking cars in that movie as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look at F1 races. You could look at Rush as one of them. You can look at I'm brain farting on the other one now.
Isn't there a new one that just came out? Just recently?
Yeah,
an F1 car?
Yeah, the F1 movie. Yep.
Yeah,
F1 exactly.
Movie,
Exactly. So, there's something for everything. I don't think there's too many good dirt racing ones. It kind of rubs me the wrong way now that I'm thinking about that. But
there's too many, or there's not enough.
Not enough, never enough. I mean, you can even go, old school. Obviously, you can go, look at like Herbie, the old Herbie movies.
Oh, Herbie was the best.
I mean, exactly. Or Smoker Ace, another one, a good throwback right there. So there's definitely some good ones, and I can only put 4 in the poll up there. So if there's other ones out there that you guys like, certainly put it in the comments there. And maybe there's some out there that I haven't seen. Maybe Jimmy hasn't seen, and it'll give us something to watch over the weekend. Or even for the kids, obviously you got to put movies like Cars in there. It's another one good racing one all the way through.
Just
so
a cow.
Exactly. Or even Turbo. Technically Turbo with the Indy 500. So there's good ones all over the place. Speed Racer. Exactly. That brings me back right there, watching that the original cartoon growing up.
Oh yeah, been there, done that. It's amazing. You just have you ever tried to go back and watch some of your childhood cartoons and how kind of goofy they are?
real cartoons. Real cartoons. Listen, when I'm watching cartoons, I don't want to learn. I want to watch. I want to watch what the next screw up that Acme can make. That's really all. That's all I want to know. Exactly.
Yeah, Kate Green brought up obviously a good one. Driven. That was another good movie too. So. Yeah, it's see the 19 the tough break, but at least he's out there watching here in CRN. So support everywhere, even for Cade. I mean, getting out there. I mean, technical difficulties stink. I don't know what quite happened. Seen some smoke, and I was like, where'd that smoke go? I didn't see nothing. So I mean, he vanished in the smoke.
Exit stage left. Exactly.
But
Another one. Just thinking, another one. A Cannonball Run. Another good one there. Yeah. Yep. Yes. They keep coming to me. Good old times.
So
I
many.
mean, I feel like that's one that, you know, it's. I know some remakes can get really cheesy and really crappy, but I feel like they can do so much with like a Cannonball Run remake, a good one, you know, that they actually put into it. But either way. Back to the racing here as we are halfway through this race, or are getting very close to it, and it is still out front. Brandon Muir looking towards the second round of pit stops here, probably in the next couple laps. Brandon Muir, Austin Call, Colin Allman, Dalton Kilroe, and Hemi Ghiardini for your top 5. Andrew Pileshi now all the way back up to 6th place. Len McNeese, Tyler Hilton, Michael Taylor, and Mike Hasty for the top 10. Good racing so far, and all this green flag running is what, you know, gave us a chance to kind of, you know, step aside a little bit here and talk a little movie lore and get some of the other fans, or, you know, some of the drivers that had internet issues here tonight certainly out there back engaged. And yeah, it's hotspot racing. We've had 1 or 2 drivers over the maybe 4 or 5 years that we've done here in CRN and even over in Core.
Who's the driver? I can't remember his name. There there's a driver. He drove semis, and he would stop for the night near a hotel or whatever, and he would sit in his rig and he would race whatever series it was. It was awesome.
I mean, half the time that's what Joe Thomas is doing. I mean, he's got his rig along with him, and a lot of times he's setting up here either in or by the rig or in the hotel room, and he's getting it done. And you can see every once in a while he doesn't have the best connection, and you can see him blinking out a little bit. But yeah, hotspots. Don't worry,
that preferred connection. You know.
Yeah, need me a hard line for sure. But out front, it is still Brandon Muir. Should be seeing again the pit stops here. I want to say in a couple laps here. We're at lap 54 now. We're now just getting to 55. So these drivers want to be able to make it on just one more pit stop here. So you're gonna have to get at least 55. John Garrett already in the pits right here at the halfway point, or just maybe 1 lap shy. Tyler Hilton in the pits. Brandon Muir already in and out on lap 54. So again, the drivers that went 27 and now to 54, it's not going to add up to 1/10. So they're going to have to do a little bit of saving in the second half of this race. Austin Call now in the pits, going to give up the lead once again to Dalton Kilroe. Looks like Colin Allman is in the pits as well. So is Andrew Pileshi, but Dalton Kilroe, Hemi Ghiardini,
he missed pit entry though.
Who did?
Colin Allman.
Oof.
Watch. I mean, I'm on him right now.
Andrew Pileshi actually has a black flag. So, oh yeah. I don't know how that wasn't a. Oh no, wait. I'm missing it here. No, Mike Hasty has a black flag.
Yeah.
I don't know how Allman didn't get a black flag. I don't know how that. Well, we'll see certainly by the pit stops, and this thing is going over 20, so he did get a black flag here, as did Mike Hasty. Looks like Andrew Pileshi did not, so that was my mistake. Andrew Pileshi in and out of the pits, but unfortunately for Colin Allman, that's not what you wanted to have. That was close right there, but Allman and Hasty being held for the 40 seconds here before work can get done, and they'll be down and out. But Austin Call is going to be out there. Looks like Brandon Muir going to take back over the lead, but Austin Call now has fresh tires again. So interesting call here, because again, these drivers can't just take the tires every stop. That's it for Austin Call. He is done for the race. Not sure if he realized it, but only 3 sets for these drivers here in the race. Started with 1, picked up a set on his first pit stop, picked up a set on his second pit stop. He's going to have to go the remaining 50 plus laps on these tires.
Is he gonna make it? Like I mean, I don't know what the percentage is after a run. You know, they're out. I mean, I know they're not out there for a full tank. I don't think so. Are they? They run full.
Well, you
fuel?
want to talk. You want to no, I don't think this is full fuel. But you want to talk about a driver that does not want to see a yellow flag at all. His only chance of doing anything here tonight, he's got to have this thing green the entire way.
Oh yeah.
And even still, I think it's going to be a rough second half for him out there. But either way, that's the bed is made for Austin. I'm sure he'll be able to run down Brandon Beer. But I see some damage.
Car.
Yeah, I see some damage on the front right of Dalton Kilroe, and he is behind the 81 of Andrew Palesci right now.
Yeah, just that's something you usually don't see much damage on the 41, but that's not a good sign.
No, he came out in front of Andrew Palesci, but now Palesci is in front of him and trying to run him back down here all over the backside. So looks like the damage not doing too much to him, except when he kind of pulls out there. Looks like when he gets that fresh air on it, he may not have the same speed.
Yeah, he might need the draft in order to stay with him. So we'll see how it's happening. Now it's just, you know, is Andrew Palesci kind of, you know, biding this time? You know, obviously.
Yeah, under this here.
Yeah, they still need to make it to a point where, you know, if this thing goes green, they can just come in one more stop. So I think the 81 kind of holding the 41 at bay is a good call. They just need to make it to halfway from when they were 57. So 57 and then 27 laps. I think it's 27 laps. At least 27 laps from 57.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, 50, 56, yeah, now I'm getting confused. Yeah, 27 laps. I know.
I don't have a calculator.
But yeah, it should be another, if they can make it 28 laps roughly. So they're going to have to get, either way, they're going to have to get around lap 80. I mean, it would be a stretch. They'd have to go 30 laps on that last tank, and that's going to be a little rough. So you figure minimum lap 81, but probably lap 82, lap 83 at least to be nice and safe and be able to go hard on that last run. So we'll see. We'll see what he can do out here, but it's been a good one out here so far. We're in the second half, so Jimmy, I think it's about time we crank these boys up and give everyone out there in Sierra Nation a little love to hear it.
Love to hear it. Sights and sounds here at Kansas with the Virtual Velocity Racing League here in the Arca car. So this might be the last time or last season for these machines, as there is a new Arca car out on the track in the fleet of iRacing vehicles. So haven't come down. I know VVR is talking about maybe what car they want to run next season / year. And then if they want to do shorter, like a shorter season, when they want to take their breaks, all kinds of things that they need to figure out as the admins and as a league in general, because they kind of get everybody's kind of input to kind of try to keep as many people happy as possible. But we're almost done here tonight at Kansas. We're on lap 83 of 110. Austin Call your leader currently, trying to work that strategy, whether it was by mistake or not. But currently out front over Brandon Meyer there by 10, almost 11 seconds. Dalton Kilrose sitting in third. We did see some damage on the front right of the number 41, so hopefully he has a fast repair to when he comes in. Can get that fixed, but doesn't look like it's affected him too much right now. But right on his tail, as always, the 81 of Andrew Paleschi, Brandon Meir in the pits. Everybody kind of getting in that window, Carl. It's getting extremely close right now.
Yeah, it'll be real interesting to see how this thing plays out. I mean, we talked about Austin Call taking both of his sets of tires on the first two pit stops. Brandon Meir took one on the first time in, and I would think he's going to take his other set right here on this pit stop. Looks like Austin Call going to come in this time as well. And this is going to be where Austin Call has got to try and make this thing all the way to the end, holding on to that lead. He had a 9-second lead over Brandon Meir, and then another 3, almost 4 seconds back to Dalton Kilroe. And really, Dalton Kilroe could be the one that he's maybe racing here at the end, or maybe even, the 13 of Brandon Meir taking his last set of tires and see if he can hold off the charge of the 41 and try and get up there and battle with the driver of the 18. But Austin Call down and out. We'll see what kind of lead he's got, because it's going to be even bigger since they didn't have any tires to take. And how about this? Your championship leaders here coming into the pits. Looks like that 41 crabbing a little bit, not even just some damage on that front right. That thing looks out of shape, out of whack, but I'm sure he'll use a fast repair here. We'll take a look. And I don't know. I don't see that thing popping out. Fast repair may have already been used on the 41 here, so this is going to be a battle here all the way to the end. You see that thing is not popped out at all, as he is coming back out, and he's got some damage that he's got to nurse the rest of this way. And it's one thing if that thing is not, causing any kind of slowdowns, causing him to lose any kind of time. It's another thing that tire is sticking out there. Any kind of little mistake and getting that tire into the wall could end up being a meatball for the 41. And meanwhile, he's going to have a mirror full of that 81, I'm sure, for the rest of this race. They come out of the pit lane, back up in line. Austin Call has got a 13-second lead over Brandon Meir for these last 25 laps of the race. Dalton Kilroe, another 4, almost 5 seconds behind. And then Andrew Paleschi right there, about a half a second behind. Glenn McNeese rounding out your top 5. Maxwell Caldwell, Michael Taylor, Tyler Hilton, Eric Blunt, and Hemi Gherardini for your top 10. Gordon Larson, Tim Lee, Michael Pratt, John Garrett, Mike Hasty for the top 15. Colin Allman looks like back in and out. He's going to be in 16th. Robert Kahn in 17th. Hilton Young in 18th. And then Todd Merkel and Cade Green already calling it a night here. So we still got 18 cars of the 20 running. But Austin Call is the one that's running for his life right now. It's already down to 11 seconds. It's dropping and dropping fast, about 1.2 seconds faster on that lap. And you see right there, that's the difference between new tires and old tires. That's what Brandon Meir has compared to Austin Call. He's got those fresh tires as the 24 Tim Lee gets back onto the lead lap.
Yeah, I mean, the call that, Austin made down in the pits, to kind of take his stuff early, obviously did the best he could. He probably couldn't ask for any better outcome, but to stay green, to give him a chance. He's gonna get himself a good finish here tonight, that's for certain. How good, we're about to find out. How well is he gonna be able to hold on them old tires just for 21 more laps? He does have a, what does he got now? He's got 8-second lead over Brandon Meyer. So we will see. Dalton Kilroy still sitting in P number 3, up 12 spots in the night. Andrew Pleshy sitting in 4th. Len McNeese is in 5th. Maxwell Caldwell's in up to 6th, up 11 spots. Michael Taylor's sitting in 7th. Eric Blount back in 8th. Tyler Hilton's up to 9th. Hemi Gardini with a top 10 here tonight currently. Tim Lee's back in 11th. Gordon Larson sitting in 12th. And then Michael Pratt up 7 spots in P13. John Garrett in 14th. Then Mike Hasty, Colin Allman, Robert Kahn, Hilton Young, Todd Merkel, and Cade Green just putting in a few laps for some points here tonight. So just kind of getting in there, do his thing. We'll probably be back, well, not next week, the following week. So we'll see him there, as they will have a few more races remaining. What was it, 3 remaining after tonight, Carl?
3 remaining. Yep, 3 races left in the season before we call it for season number 2 here for the 2025 season. But Austin Call is in the lead. The lead is dropping, as I said, that last time by. Again, another 1.2 seconds. But we've seen this before. We've seen drivers stretch it out here, have the older tires. We've seen it, I'm trying to think of when the heck it was now, but we've seen the late charge not pan out. And what was it, maybe on
just the other night.
An Xfinity series,
yeah,
where, I mean, clearly new tires on the car in second, running them down. It started off about, 0.8 of a second faster, and then all of a sudden it dropped down to half a second faster, 0.2 of a second faster, and it evens out eventually. Austin Call has got to remain in the lead until that evens out. It's easier said than done. I mean, it's easy for us to say up in the booth, he's just stay in the lead. It's easy as that, but he's got to put down some great laps here. He's got to keep it under control. He's got to try and hold on that lead until Brandon Mears' tires wear out enough that he's not that much faster than Austin Call, and maybe, just maybe, he's got a fighting chance.
I mean, technically he should be okay, just depending on how well those tires hold on here. The new tires, obviously, the drivers are on now, is just basically the same time that he had when they were on the older tires as well. It's just how well did he get through the field, around the track, execute a pit stop, all that fun stuff. And obviously down here at the end, you're always watching because it's so close. But it's a mere down to Meyer. It's a mere couple seconds. So back there, almost 3 seconds now. So definitely is still catching him at a pretty good clip here. And obviously I would not expect any kind of fight from Call to block him up here at this stage of the race with only 15 laps to go. So I mean, just Meyer's just got to be patient, work his way through the field, and he's got plenty of time to catch that number 18.
2 seconds is the gap as we're down to about 15 laps to go here at Kansas. Austin Call in the lead, Brandon Muir, Dalton Kilroy, Len McNeese, Andrew Pileshi for your top 5, as McNeese kind of getting up there in between the 2 points leaders right now. I'm sure Dalton Kilroy does not mind this one bit. Len McNeese got a little bit of a car underneath him here tonight, and with that damage on Dalton Kilroy, may even be getting up in front of him, and may get to talk to Len McNeese. I mean, how long has it been? Have we ever even talked to Len McNeese? I feel like if we have, it's been a long time here for the 84. We'll see if he can get up there and mix it up into the top 3 here tonight and best both of our championship contenders.
Yeah, 84 having a great run. Obviously, he's only up 1 spot from the start, and that's it. He's currently sitting in 4th, so he started in the top 5. So I mean, just having an overall just great night tonight for the 84, and the moon shining down on that the Western Auto Machine here tonight at Kansas. Brandon Meyer up front. Things coming close here. I'm gonna go up front here because
has switched over as Brandon Muir. made the pass here and didn't take him too long here at all. Austin Call now just trying to hang on for dear life, just to even hold on to second place. 4.5 seconds back to Dalton Kilroe. So again, not out of the realm of possibility, as last lap by was about 9/10 of a second difference. Is Len McNeese now battling with Dalton Kilroe, and how about 3 wide coming out of the corner? McNeese is going to lose it here. Paleshi on the inside. Paleshi smelling the blood in the water. He's trying to get up there. He knows where his battle is. It's right here with the 41. They've been duking it out all season in the points, and now it comes down to the last roughly 10 laps in this race. Paleshi all the way down close to the grass to try and make this pass, and he's got a fast number 81 here into the turn. A little bit of damage on the 41 could be hurting his run. Lane here got real close to bumping there, as Kilroe fighting hard on the outside, trying to get that run, trying to get that side draft. Paleshi going to throw it into 3 and 4. Real tight to the side is the 41, not trying to give him any kind of room off the corner. You'll see the 81 down on the apron again, and the 41 to chase him down there, not to give him any kind of extra run. This is a epic battle here, and this is, you want an idea of what the championship has been all season in the points. This is it right here. This is what's been separating them. Basically nothing. And Kilroe not given an inch here, still battling, still side by side. This is helping Austin Call his chance for second place. And finally, Paleshi is going to make the pass, but what a battle right there between those two.
Yeah, it's not over. There's still 9 laps to go, and it just could be Kilroe just to let these tires warm down or cool down. I'll hang on the bumper here of Andrew and just keep the pressure on and keep Andrew's tires warmed up. And then when it's when he has that opportunity to make the shot and to kind of bounce back around the 81 here to put him back behind the podium here. But right now it's the 81, 41 duking it out here for P number 3. Out front is Brandon Meyer with a starting to gain quite a bit of distance here over the 18 of Austin Call. That is currently sitting here in P number 2. Hoping these 8 laps will go by quickly before Andrew and Dalton Kilroe catch up to him. I'm sure he would love to get a great finish here. But that's in danger, and you can see them closing in here, not very fast. They got to, let's see, they're running like 3/10, so it's in the realm. They have a possibility to catch them. So we'll see if it's what will happen here between the 81-41 and the 18.
Coming down to the final few laps here at Kansas, it is Brandon Meir trying to get it done here tonight, and it would be a season-defining night here for the 13. We've seen him kind of showing some spurts here and there. Had a good race a couple races ago, and then Pocono not exactly being kind to him, and then coming right back out and having a good race here tonight, and possibly a great race, and very possibly looking to get his first win on the season. And to give you an idea, Mir has shown speed. He's seen that. We've seen the 13 up there in the top 5 quite a bit. But of the 15 races, 16 including Pocono last week, 2 top 5s for the season. He's just not had the finishes that he's wanted and maybe deserved. And maybe tonight it's all going to pay off with a W.
Yeah, he just has to make these final few laps. Seen a 13 definitely in his pocket of trouble, I guess, if you want to call it that. Just kind of a wrong spot, right time, just a bit mid-pack in the battlefield, just getting kind of caught up. But started pretty good here tonight, obviously in the top 6. He started in P6, and he's now out in the lead here over Austin Call that started here in P number 2. So the 18's been fast all night, just out of tire here. So not much the 18 can do except just hold on and try to keep this position over Andrew Paleshi and Dalton Kilroe. But Andrew's got a little bit of space now over Dalton. Excuse me. So making him feel just a little bit better than Len McNeese. Definitely trying to take that spot away. And I'm sure Andrew would love for that 84 to get around the 84 to get around the 41 here tonight.
Well, certainly you're struggling a little bit more than these drivers are to finish out this race. It's been lean and green this entire time. Len McNeese trying to get up there and take away fourth place from the defending champion and the points leader coming into tonight after getting the best of Andrew Pileshi late at Pocono. You see Len McNeese diving to the inside here. Battle for fourth position is on. The 84 wants it. The 41 trying to hang on. Doesn't want to lose that many points to Pileshi and could very well be tied once again heading into Talladega next week. And you want to talk about a season-defining race coming up next week. Actually, I apologize. Talladega is in two races. It is we're off next week, and then we head to Phoenix for 120 laps, and then we'll go to Talladega before we head to Dover. So it's a bit of a rough schedule to finish off. Looks like Dalton Kilroe may have held off Len McNeese just enough, stretches out a bit of a lead here, but out front, taking the white flag, Brandon Meir looking to take this thing home in the 13, finally getting himself a win. Better late than never for sure. Austin Call looks like he's going to hold on to second, so the different tire strategy had us guessing, had us scratching our heads, but it's going to pay off for a second place here tonight by the looks of it. Brandon Meir out of turn number 4 in the 13 will be number 1 here tonight. Congrats to Brandon Meir. Austin Call going to hold off, finish in second. Andrew Pileshi going to get back up here and talk to us here in third. Dalton Kilroe, Len McNeese, Maxwell Caldwell for your top 6, as Caldwell and Kilroe both up 11 spots here in this race. Then you got Michael Taylor, Eric Blunt, Hemi Gardini with a good run here tonight to get a top 5. Gordon Larson rounding out the top 10. Tyler Hilton, Tim Lee, Michael Pratt, John Garrett, Mike Hasty, Colin Allman. Certainly not the night that he wanted to finish with, as Allman very fast here tonight in the 67, but pit road penalty. And then I believe he had another issue as well, put him towards the back of the pack. Robert Kahn certainly had his issues, and we had taken a little frustration out here on pit road as he had a pit road penalty, and then it looked like he scraped the wall a little bit too, but he may have been might be faster going backwards, as he was going pretty good there backwards on the pit road. But he's going to finish in 17th. Hilton Young, Todd Merkel, Cade Green for your 20 car field. Want to thank the sponsors here in the series: Hilton Crafts and Designs, Gold Line Guardians, and Fort Worth Screen Printing, as Brandon Meir burning it down here on the front stretch.
Yeah, you celebrated 13. Group 1001. I mean, just getting them out here and just having fun tonight, and able to make things work, get the win here, and show everybody out there that the 13's got what it takes to get some wins here at VVR. The competition's really stiff. Obviously, you always have a few drivers that are pretty dominant no matter where you go, but able to kind of have the speed here tonight, executed the pit strategy. The car's clean here tonight, whether it was a fast repair cleanup at the end or what, but still walk away the winner here in that number 13. So we'll get to talk to him lately, along with Austin Call here and Andrew Pileshi. But it's been a great night of racing here at Kansas.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe, get you in touch with everything that Sierra has to offer. And I want to thank everyone for popping in here. I know we only had Brandon and Cade Green out there in the chat. Certainly, don't be afraid to type something in. Don't be afraid to chat it up with us. If you want to see your favorite driver out there, or you want to talk about your favorite movie, anything like that, we like to try and engage with the chat as much as possible. But let's go ahead and chat with some drivers out here, as we'll get the top 3 in here in a moment. Looks like we got a couple of them. I'm just going to again pull Andrew Pileshi. I don't care if he's talking or not. We're just going to pull him into the broadcast waiting room anyway, because you know what he wants to do, Jimmy. He wants to come up here and talk to you and celebrate a 3rd place finish here tonight.
Yeah, Drew, Jimmy and Carl up in the booth, Cabby.
What's up, boys?
Hey, he's back. I didn't know if you were going to make it here. You started off with a bang out front. You're starting in the top 4. The next thing I know, I'm looking on the back of the pack in the battlefield. I'm like, what is he doing? But, under no circumstance, 81 comes back through the field and gets around probably your biggest competitor and probably the closest point raised in a lot of series that we cover. I haven't seen a points race so close, go back and forth so many times between you and Dalton. So I'm not quite sure where they stand after last week with Pocono, but because you guys had to like create a session or something. So I'm not quite sure in the point standings at the moment. But either way, you're still in that tight battle there with Dalton Kilrow. Got 3 races remaining. You get a 3rd place here tonight. So I want to say congratulations and give you some time to kind of let us know how your race was here, as it was actually pretty exciting from start to finish.
Yeah, it was hopefully I don't win anything. I gotta turn him down. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. That wasn't crazy, I guess, but kind of just wanted to take it easy because I knew how easy it would be to push yourself too hard with how much you could run this car wide open. I don't want to burn my tires up. I was really worried about fuel. I didn't know how that was going to shake out. So that first run, I kind of just took it easy, tried to take and figure out the fuel game. Then after that second stop, I had an idea of what the fuel strategy was going to look like, so I could start going harder. And from there, it was just trying to keep Dalton somewhat in my sights to keep this fight alive. And then him and I pit together. I was almost short pit him, but it's bit me too many times. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to stay out as long as I can. And it just happened to be the same lap he was putting. The car was running out of gas coming down pit road. Like,
Kind of close.
Out. They actually ran out. I had to restart it in the pit box. And then it was just trying to hang with him, not burn my stuff up on that last run. And I got lucky. We had we had Len up there battling with us. So I kind of tried to be strategic and let him go up there and rough Dalton up a little bit, and it kind of worked. So, yeah, I'm not going to complain about that. It's got to be really tight. He's probably still in the lead, but it's probably 1 or 2. This is crazy. I didn't think we'd be doing this far into the season.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the closest races or points. Like I said, points battled. And you're just kind of trying to get out there and just finish in front of the 41. That's, I mean, your biggest goal is like, doesn't matter. I mean, you have to finish well because, I mean, typically Dalton does finish well at most tracks, but just trying to stay in front of the 41 is definitely keeping you busy this season. So we want to say congratulations for getting that done here tonight and also walking away with that 3rd place finish. But most importantly, give you the opportunity to give him any shots that you may have number 81.
Yeah, as always, you guys up in the booth do a great job. I got back up here again this week, so I mean that's the dub, right?
Especially last week.
Yeah, I know. Dude, Pocono's my favorite track. I was heartbroken. Like,
No, don't smack the wall. It's
yeah, whatever. Easier said than done.
You got anything else there for us, Andrew, or just are we good? Did I lose you?
Can you hear me? I was talking. Like my button was being super. Sorry. Yeah, just you guys in the booth. The same old spiel. You guys in the booth. The team. Dalton for being such a good competition. Tim for putting everything on. Where do we go next week? I think we're off. But
yeah, off next week and then Phoenix. Yep.
Well, we're going to try our best. But if I could just get a win here, man, things would be so nice. But we're going to try again. We got a few to go. We'll get it done.
You got 3 more to go. So either way, you walk away that you get that win or that 3rd place finish here tonight. And again, congratulations. As always, thanks for the shout outs, and we'll let you go celebrate. And hopefully, we'll see you in 2 weeks at your favorite track, Phoenix.
Yeah, we're going to. I wouldn't count on it.
That is your 3rd place finisher here tonight, the 81 of Andrew Pileshi. As he got it, didn't get the win, but points wise, maybe a little, won the battle here tonight between him and Dalton Kilrow. 2nd place here tonight, and certainly the man with a different strategy than everyone else out there, the 18 of Austin Call. Austin, congrats on the 2nd place here tonight, but we got to go right to the elephant in the room. You decided to take tires on pit stop 1 and pit stop 2 and just run those things ragged the rest of the way.
So theoretically, that is faster. Unfortunately, it's only theoretical. But yeah,
all things considered, it was only 3 seconds in between you and Brandon. You did come home in 2nd.
Yeah, I beat everybody who was on the typical strategy. So,
yes.
but yeah, it's I just like I'd prefer to be on defense, even though it's more fun to be on attack. It's easier to play defense than play offense, and you're always like just being in front of everybody just puts me in a better position to be able to defend, and everything is equal in the end because every just depending on which stop you take this tire, don't take tires. Everybody is gonna have a stint where they're gonna suck. And putting that off to the end just got me as far out as I could. Unfortunately, I didn't find out that the high line worked in 1 and 2 until after Brandon passed me. But after that, I mean, I was driving, I think I was on like 50%, 47% on my right front at the end of that race, matching all the leaders.
Nice.
Just right in the high side.
And you mentioned about playing defense. I mean, we've seen it in a prime example. I think it was on Tuesday night in that Core Xfinity series at Michigan, where the leader was on old tires at the end, and second place was running him down by, it started off maybe 9/10 of a second quicker, and then 8/10 of a second, 6/10. It eventually levels out and eventually evens out. I mean, here it started off with Brandon Muir, getting you at about 1.2 seconds a lap, a clip there in the beginning of the run, but it certainly started to even out, and that's where your strategy, almost kind of paid off. It's just a couple more laps and maybe it would even out just enough to keep you up there with a chance to defend.
Yeah, I think the only thing I wish I did differently was the way I saved fuel on the first stint. I lost some time doing that. And then also I tried saving fuel on the second stint and actually oversaved by a lap. So I definitely dropped time doing that. And I think that ended up being the difference, because I came out ahead of Brandon for the second stint, and then he passed me and had a 3-second lead. And what do you know? 3-second lead was the difference.
Exactly. Of course, that's how it plays out. Well, you started up here in second, you finish in second. So all in all, it was a pretty good race, just coming up short. But it's got to feel good to come home, at least runner up here tonight with all the competition in the series. So congrats on the second place. Before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
I've always got to thank my teammates. Andrew, I hope he wins that championship. Maxwell and Todd. Unfortunately, Todd did not have the race he was hoping for tonight, but hopefully he does better the rest of the season. And I got give thanks to my family. I'm moving to college tomorrow, and my mom pretty much packed up all of my stuff for me. So I really want to thank her for that. So
shout out to mom. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, this is my last race, this season at least.
Well, we'll wish you luck in college, and hopefully we'll see you eventually once you come back on your summer break.
Yep, thank you.
Well, either way, it's been a pleasure, and this was a fun one to finish off for you. So we'll let you go out there and head out there and get your learn on, and hopefully we'll see you back here in the series at some point. But either way, congrats on the second place. We'll let you go celebrate.
Thank you.
Second place finisher here tonight, the 18 of Austin Call, getting it done. But the man getting it done for the first time this season, and finally getting to get that last interview, is going to be the 13 of Brandon Muir.
Brandon, Jimmy and Carl up to boot. Copy.
Hey, what's up, guys?
About time you get that 13 up on the podium, and not only the podium, the top of the podium. 13 on fire here tonight. You qualified well in 6th place, and then moved up and got yourself a win here tonight. Give us a rundown of your race, as we've seen it up here. I mean, it was all green for us, so just kind of get the driver's side of the story on how it was out there.
I wasn't even going to race this tonight. I was going to do NIS at 9, and I'm like, fuck it. Let's go run Arca and lose. And the car was a freaking rocket. I guess a couple guys were like, is that even him behind the wheel tonight? I love Kansas. It's a very good track. And when I actually loaded in for qualifying, I'm like, 70, it's in the mid 70s for track temp. All right, let's tighten the steering lock up and let's send it. And I kept the car the same for the feature as I had it for qualifying. And what do you know? Here we are. We're in victory lane. So that was fun.
Yeah, you found your groove tonight here, and obviously getting the win here tonight. Obviously with these races going green from start to finish, you kind of guess, try to guess who's going to do what kind of pit strategy. And I know a lot of drivers were out there tonight. They pit, and then some took tires in that first stop and some did not. And then, they either had tires for the end or tires, or they were on old tires. Obviously, Austin Call able to take tires the first 2 times, leaving them open there for you to kind of overtake them there at the end, making it a little bit easier. Obviously, in the grand scheme of things, technically, you're all got one stint that you're going to suck. And he would have been, and I kind of agree with why he did it, and I agree with why you guys do it. And I tend to prefer the way that you and most of the rest of the field did it, was because if a caution comes out and you don't have no tires left, you go into the back. That's just the way it works with ovals. And but either way, you had good strategy, you had a good drive, you had a fast number 13. I'm glad you decided to join us out here tonight and not the NIS race. And you got a chance to come up here to the booth and get a taste of fame and your fans out there. So we want to say congratulations up here in the booth, and we also want to give you some time for any shouts you might have in that number 13.
I'd like to give a shout out to you guys for hosting this for us each week in the booth. Tim Lee for putting this on every week. All the other admins, the guys I sit in the Discord chat with, Hasty, Hemi, Gordon, and Eric. I think all but Hasty may have had a good run tonight, but it's hit or miss. And everybody else that came out, a very, very clean race. Were we caution free? I think we were, right?
Yes, you were.
Yes, we were.
Yep.
He's so excited he doesn't remember.
Sometimes it's a blur. I'm more every week like, all right, what lap am I gonna fuck this up on? And actually, to be honest with you guys, I didn't drive that car any different than I have the other 14 races I've done this year. It was pedal to the metal and hammer down and save 2 laps of fuel in the second stint. So, and then so because you were saying Austin pitting there, and I have the timer for how long you're in pit road, and I'm like, he's only in there. He was 40 seconds on pit road compared to my 35. I'm like, all right, he took tires on both stints. So during that second stint, I'm like, I'll save like 2 laps of fuel because I had to get it down to pitting with 28 laps to go, and that's where I hit it. And then taking those tires, he got a little bit of a gap between him and I. I think it was almost 14 seconds. We're going, and it was like, all right, we're clicking it down. I was a second and a half faster than him, and I was only about 1.2 seconds off with not taking tires. So, again, there really wasn't a lot of tire fall off tonight, which kind of played in the advantage. So, we'll take it. Finally got into the victory lane. So,
well, again, congratulations. Thanks for the shout, man. It's like I said, it's good to get new people up here and a chance to kind of get your side of the story out there. And it's, like I said, it was good that you came out here and raced with the boys tonight. So again, congratulations on the victory here at Kansas. You got next week off, and then you run your NIS race next week. And then
I'll probably run it tomorrow night over the weekend.
and then we got 3 more races to go. So for the rest of this season. So again, congratulations, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
All right, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Well, before we do, gonna put you on the spot here and ask you the question that we asked the fans out there, and get your opinion. Especially, I see the sprint car there in your little logo, and I'm sure you may feel the same way about me. There's not enough dirt track movies out there, but favorite racing movie. You had to pick one racing movie that you got to watch. What's it going to be?
Days of Thunder.
Yep, and that seems to be the sentiments of a lot of drivers out there and fans as well. So, congrats again.
There's another one that I do enjoy, and I don't know if you guys ever seen it. The movie Driven.
Yes,
I have. Yes, yep. We talked about that one. We brought up a bunch of them here. There's some good ones here, and I'm sure when you're watching back the broadcast here tonight, you'll yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, I see the what's your favorite race movie here? And everyone's going with freaking Days of Thunder.
Yep, exactly. All right, buddy. We'll let you go celebrate this one, and we'll see you maybe in 2 weeks. See if you can run it back here at Phoenix.
All right. We'll try.
All right. That is your winner here tonight, the 13 of Brandon Muir. And yeah, it seems like everybody kind of has the same sentiment about Phoenix coming up in 2 weeks. But we will have a week off. We'll give them an extra week to practice this thing up and see if they can get it done out there in the desert. But it was a fun one here tonight. 110 laps of green flag race, and love to see that. And just a testament to how good these drivers are. And it wasn't for lack of battling. We had some great battling, especially between our 2 points contenders, Andrew Pileshi and Dalton Kilroe. Kilroe got the better of him last week at Pocono. This time it was Pileshi getting the better of him. And it's just, this is going to be a 15-round bout, the way it seems here. And it's going to go all the way down to the final race at Dover. I want to thank everyone again out there for tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer, both myself and Jimmy here in the CRN booth. We'll see you at the track.
Peace.